That event, which is very cool. It is 8:40 right now. Welcome back to CW Iowa Live. Lou and Jackie here.
Good morning, everybody. All right, trying to keep you informed. We're going to do that with Michael Jenkins right now, who is talking about saving your home. Have you ever been caught in a situation where you might be losing your home in the terms of not being able to make payments? We're going to tell you how you can make that not happen this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So if your home is in the midst of a foreclosure where someone's knocked on your door and handed you the lawsuit, we're going to talk about how you can save your home today and not have to rely on the mortgage company to do a loan modification for your home, which many people attempt to resort to and only few actually receive.
Okay.
So what's most important is when this lawsuit for foreclosure first occurs, you've got different options. You can continue talking to your mortgage company and do nothing and just keep talking to them. That's kind of the worst option.
Right.
First option,
That's just the lazy, inevitable.
Is there an amount of time that you have?
Yeah, on the lawsuit, you have roughly a month to get an answer on file.
Okay.
A response to the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Otherwise, your rights can be terminated on that.
Okay.
And you don't want that train to come to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get an attorney right away and at least get them to do something to stall off the foreclosure. It isn't really expensive if you call the right one, like myself or a few others that do what I do. And you also want to make sure that the attorney that you get, besides being able to do this foreclosure for you, also does Chapter 13 bankruptcy, because that is potentially a good option you can do. But if this attorney that you went to doesn't do it, A, he's not going to probably even tell you it exists, and B, if it does, he doesn't know how to do it and is not going to be able to help you with it.
Okay.
So it would be a good idea to make sure the attorney you get does both. Now, that's not to say you can't keep talking to your mortgage company and go through this painstaking process of loan for modification. If you've started the process, it's certainly okay to keep trying to get it. There are some people that actually get it accomplished, and if you do, great. You may not need the Chapter 13 bankruptcy to save your home, but many people find out way too late that they're not going to do it, and it's too late sometimes to even hire a Chapter 13 bankruptcy attorney to save the house. So don't put all your faith in what the mortgage company's telling you. Don't believe everything they're telling you that it's going to get done, because you can't trust them.
Is there a reason that it's not awarded to very many people when they go through the mortgage company, or is it an individual based?
It's individual based,
okay.
But there's so many masses amounts of people that do it. There's only a very few that they actually do it for. I think as a percentage from what I've seen. And then some of the people I've seen get them, they've ended up in my office for one thing or another. And I've often wondered how those people got the loan modifications in the first place versus other people that I thought would have been more than capable of getting one, and they don't.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason
Right.
as to how it
the words
happens.
out of my mouth. Exactly what I'm talking about. All right.
So
now, when is it too late to try to work on this?
Well, when a sheriff's sale gets scheduled, and at least in Polk County, because there's so many of them, you typically have 4 to 6 weeks notice when they send you the notice of the sale date. Before it happens, and some people are relying and working with their mortgage company up till a couple days before the sale, and then they go, "Oop, sorry, you've been declined," and it's too late, because no attorney is going to help you with 2 or 3 days before the sale. Typically, I might help a person if they've got a week, but I really screen them carefully to make sure they are really capable of getting something done.
Good candidates, yeah.
So this Chapter 13 bankruptcy, how does it help you stop the sale, and how does it help you save your home? Well, the filing of this kind of bankruptcy, it guarantees that the sale stops as long as it's filed before the sale date and somebody notifies the sheriff that it's been filed, because they don't have a crystal ball. Just because you filed it, it doesn't just get to them through the air. Someone's got to tell them.
Okay.
They have to be made aware of this.
Right. And the other thing is, do not, under any circumstances, file it yourself. Some people go to these companies they contact on the internet, or they see on cable television that they're going to help them save their house. They pay them several $1,000s, which is a waste of money. And then when it gets down to the very end, they tell these poor folks, you better go down and file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy yourself and stop that thing. They don't know what they're doing. They just told they better file something, and they get a form.
Right.
So you don't do it yourself. So this is how it works in a Chapter 13. First of all, you have 60 months to pay back all the missed payments that you've made, so that's a really long time. You don't necessarily want to have to be able to take the whole 60 months. A lot of life happens in 5 years.
Right.
That could derail us. So if you can get it done in a shorter period of time, it's better to do so.
Okay.
So when you get into this, you'll be then making monthly payments to pay all the back stuff you missed and all the lawyer fees that the mortgage company incurred and the different costs they incurred. And it gets lumped into like one debt. And that's paid back through your Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And you make a payment every month to a bankruptcy official called the trustee. And then she takes that money and sends it to your mortgage company every month on your payment plan. And you may have other debts that are being paid with that too. Mm-hmm. So when you get into this, that payment you're making to the bankruptcy court begins 30 days after you file your case. Now, you also have to resume making your normal mortgage payment the first month following the filing. So for cases I'm filing today here in November, my clients are going to have to start paying their mortgage again December 1st, because that's when normally people's mortgage comes due. So you're going to have two different payments to make: your regular mortgage and the payment of probably several $100s to apply to the back amounts.
So it is, you don't just roll that into one payment, it is two separate payments.
Right.
Okay.
The regular upcoming payments that you're making along the way, because you have to keep those current.
Right.
And then paying the back amounts in a separate payment through the court.
Got it.
Now, the mortgage company, they can't resist this. They can't say, we don't feel like doing it, like they can in a loan modification.
Okay.
If you file it and you've got the ability and capability of paying these things, you can guarantee that you can save your home in a foreclosure. So it's a really great thing, because you will stop losing so much sleep thinking you're going to be homeless. Now, there's considerations. This may not be the right thing for everybody to do. It's great for some people. And so a big consideration that we talk about is this house worth keeping? So if you owe way more debt on the house than the house is worth. Mm-hmm. So if you owe $200,000 on a $130,000 house, which see it all the time,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Sometimes
So
it's
in
just
that
better,
case, it'd be better just to walk away.
just walk away.
Walk away from it.
You don't want to keep shoveling money into something that there's just no value there. You can get another house someday after this bad part of your life is over with, and after maybe 3 or 4 years go by and you get back up on your feet, save up some money for a down payment, you can qualify for a mortgage again. And it's better to be paying for a home that's worth what it's worth versus a home that you're just tossing money away for nothing. So there's thousands and thousands of homes out there, so there's no sense being wed to this particular bad situation.
Okay.
But for those that it is a good situation, it's very important that we figure out a few things. Number one, can you really afford to do this? So, you know, we can't negotiate with your mortgage company and go, oh, we'd like a better payment. It doesn't work that way. That's in loan modification.
Okay.
If you're going to do this, you do it under the terms of the mortgage that you sign. No one's
The original terms.
The original terms. Mm-hmm. No one's doing you any favors here. You're going to pay back the stuff you need to pay back and be paying what you're supposed to be paying. So you'll pay your regular mortgage payment and then this other payment. Now, if you have second mortgages or home equity loans or home equity lines of credit, you got to be able to afford to pay those, because they got rights to take your house as well. So you have to factor that in if you're keeping your house. And then finally, if you've got other obligations and responsibilities, car payments and other things, well, you got to be able to afford to do all of these things. And so if you're in a good situation, you've got your job back that you lost or a new job to replace your income, well, then Chapter 13 may be the perfect answer for you if your home's in foreclosure and the mortgage company is saying, we're not going to do a loan modification for you, so you got other ways to save your home, and this is a perfect way.
Okay.
Now, what are people that are just simply frightened by the term Chapter 13?
Well, I mean, it doesn't cost anything to find out information about it. You can call me if you have questions. What's this about? Would it be right for me? And we're happy to answer those. We have free consultations. You can look at our website at www.iowa-bankruptcylaw.com and find answers to some of these questions there as well.
And remember, there are deadlines, especially if someone has knocked on your door and handed you some paperwork. You want to act now as opposed to waiting.
Very harsh deadlines.
Oh, very harsh deadlines. But get an attorney that knows what they're doing and are able to not only assist you, but also make that filing if you need it at the same time. Thank you, Michael. Great information this morning.
Good to see you. All right, it's 8:50 right now, and we will be right back. And boy, talking about buying things, when we come back, what Tiffany is targeting millennials to purchase at their stores. That's coming up next on CW Iowa Live.